Morning all. Morning. I was tempted to just sit there and not move and just make you think there was a frozen screen then. I won't. Yeah, God, I need a haircut. Jeez. Morning everybody, hope you're all right. The boss and me going to try and assemble something from a load of parts. I've cut what I think is the beginning of a new kit. Hope it's going to work. Be part of the farm series of buildings we've got, so hopefully it's going to go together without too much problem. I've kind of offered bits up and I think it will fit, but I really don't know. So good morning to everybody. Quickly before I get the bits sorted, I will say now before I forget, we are at that this weekend, Cornwall Model Railway exhibition. It's part of the Cornwall O-Gauge group. Yeah, Cornwall O-Gauge group, their exhibition at Carnbray Leisure Centre this Sunday, Halloween, Sunday the 31st. I don't think I'm going in fancy dress, I don't think. Sunday the 31st, 10 AM to 4 PM. It's at Red Roof. Yeah, Red Roof, Station Road, Pool, Red Roof. We'll be there. Not sure what we're taking yet. Just going to grab a load of gear from downstairs, take the demo layout, a few other bits, catalogues and stuff. So if you're in the Pool area of Cornwall this weekend, feel free to pop along. I'll be there. Possibly Tina, maybe Elizabeth, maybe just me on my own. I don't know yet. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to get my bits sorted. I'll see you in a minute. Right, desk. Empty desk. Right, the plan then this morning is to assemble something which I'm going to call, for the moment, a tractor store, machine store, don't know, something like that. It's sort of an outbuilding. I'm kind of thinking of my granddad's farm that he had up in Leicestershire many moons ago. I think the house is still there, isn't it? Callum's farm's still there, but I don't know whether the farm's still working. It's sort of been absorbed into Barden Quarry now. So this should hopefully assemble into something that resembles a place where a farmer can stick his tractor or put some sheep when they're about to give birth, about lambing, or cows, whatever, anything. It's just one of those kind of farm buildings, looks a bit scruffy. It's built for some kind of purpose, but the farmer uses it to dump a load of machinery and other things in. So it's one of those things. Oh, I got the idea. Where did I get the idea from? We were watching this drama, weren't we, on BBC or something? I said, "Oh, I saw a building on there," and he went, "No idea." Can't even remember what the drama was, but anyway, I've done a very quick test fit. I did realise that I've messed up one of these pieces. I had to cut something off yesterday. Oh, it was that one. I got tabs on the back piece, so I had to trim that. So I've done that with a knife. Might be some other trimming and stuff needed as we go. Really don't know if it's going to go together. So this could be a 10-minute build, and we could go, no, waste of time, can't go any further, or it could be here for 2.5 hours. I don't know. Let's see how we get on. So got the usual glue, laser cut kit glue, got some rocket in case we need it, Yoo-hoo, which I'll be using for wraps because I've got wraps to go on this. I've got a few acrylic paints. I'm going to paint the doors and windows, or Tina is paint the doors and windows, hopefully, in green. Green plus the laser board should give us a darker green, so I've gone for a light sap green, that is. And then I've got a burnt umber, which I'm going to use for rusty gates, and the what are they called? Patrus's tie things, building ties, Patrus plate things, which I'm going to put on each end, just to add a bit of detail. And the gates I might do rusty. I did wonder about doing them galvanized, but I think we'll go rusty actually. Rusty brown, yeah, why not? We've got fascia boards and bits. Then I've done a couple of sets of wraps. We have brick wraps, which should fit, and I've also cut out Blue Peter Styley stone ones ready to go. Got roof trusses and our rather useful slates. Hopefully the slates and everything should fit without any trimming. Just to check them, yeah. So I've got to concentrate when I do those because I've done a certain amount which should cover the roof perfectly and not leave any gaps, and it all should all work fine. But I've got to make sure I pay attention when I do that, so I don't glue them too close. So first thing, going to assemble the basics of the building. The end walls have window holes in, window reveals in, so they're going to go onto there. Window or vents, I think I've got in the kit. I think what I've put is the option to do a window if you want to, or vents. So I think this end where animals may go, maybe. I'll put a vent in there, and this end I'm going to put a window because it could be, I don't know, workshop, tack room, whatever. That end. That's going to go as a central dividing wall in there, which is the wrong way around. That wants to go that way. Make sure I get that right. That central dividing wall, the front's going to go on there. Then we're going to wrap all this in stone, put some stone wraps on the inside and everything there, so that it looks hopefully like a half decent building. And I've pre-weathered the wraps and things, so in theory it should sit nicely along with the barn, which is half a barn kicking around somewhere over there. It's half a barn, so it should. There's a barn that's been dremeled in half there, a low relief barn. It should sit nicely against, up next to this. It's a slightly larger building, only slightly. You can see from the end profile. It's only slightly larger than the barn, but longer, twice as long, just over 2.5 times as long. So it should sit nicely with that. Right, stop waffling, crack on. Okay, glue, make sure it's working. Yeah. Okay, let's put the, what should we do first?
You want to wrap first or not?
I need to wrap around the outside once the building's together, because I've got to wrap around there. I'm trying to think about putting the windows in first. In fact, what I'll do first, I told you we're playing it by ear now. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to release the bits that I don't want to paint, and I can hand this piece to the team and get you to paint parts for me. So I'm just going to release these first. Got my specs on so I can see what I'm doing. Not that one. That one's painting. With a bit of luck, it'll go together all right, this. I'm hoping so. Then I can write the instructions this afternoon. And away we go. Right, these are just the beams for the roof, which I don't want to paint because they're just going up inside the roof and can be timber coloured, which is fine. Right, those ones then, if you can paint the gates and that dark brown, those dark brown, just try and tuck it, don't worry about getting it on all the edges for a minute, just paint them and see what happens. We don't touch them up afterwards. And then those ones, if you can do all that lot green, and that green and those green, then we can touch the edges up afterwards.
What about the stuff here? What's that part of the gate?
That's part of the gate, yeah. Right. That could do it. Just do it dark brown, it'll be fine. Right. Thank you. You can paint that, so the expert's got the painting to do. She'll make a lovely neat job, no doubt. She always does. Okay, just need to check that I've trimmed these parts off properly where I messed up before. Not quite flush enough. Nearly. You won't have to do this when you build the kit because obviously I'll cut the parts correctly. So when I was doing a test fit yesterday of all the parts, I realised that I got some extra bits sticking out. Yeah, we'll go with that. That'll do, I think, nearly there. A little bit proud on that one. I'd rather have more of a gap on this one, or cut too much away because it will just fit tighter. There's Terry. Have you noticed there's no Lola this morning barking because she's at home with Elizabeth today? Right, so that's going to be back wall going that way. That's right. Okay. So first up, I'm going to glue these main walls in, or the end walls in, and the middle wall. Anyway, I hope everybody's all right. It's gloomy as anything down here today. It's like it's still dark. It's rather miserable. Don't think it's raining at the moment, but it's a bit grey. And hello to everybody. I see we've got a lot of people tuning in from all over the place again today. So Art was on this morning from Netherlands. Somebody from New Zealand, I think. Portugal. Martin's in from Portugal. He's just come out of hospital. I hope you're feeling better. He said he's now walking with a stick, which is good news. He's up and about, which is brilliant. Okay. I could use my jig for this actually to make sure I get it. Hey, look at that. use the jig and hold it with that. That's better. Hold this for a few seconds while the glue goes off. While I wait for that to set quickly for a few seconds, I will start releasing some of the roof trusses because there's loads. Just give that a couple of minutes for the glue to set on that first joint, then I can do the other end, then put the centre wall in, then we can start wrapping bits. I'll take some pictures as well, remember to do that as we go. Otherwise I'll have to build it all again this afternoon. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'll do one in a minute. I've just got to take a picture of that. I'm just waiting for the glue to go off on that because it's quite, with it being chunkier, heavier parts, it just takes a bit longer for the glue to grab it, that's all. So rather than rush it and then it keep dropping to pieces while I'm trying to work, I'll just start cutting a few of these out. I should have done these the other day, or yesterday, or this morning while I was sat doing the wraps, but there we go. I didn't. Don't take too long to cut out, though, really. Hoping they fit, because none of these have been tested. So I say we could end up cutting this short if nothing fits. I offered all the parts up yesterday before I cut it in the software, and it looked like they were going to fit. But like I say, I missed that. Missed the two tabs on the back piece. I didn't notice those. Right, let's see whether that's half the trusses out. That's gripping now, which is good. Okay, quick photo of that. Bear with me because this is a live build and an instruction photograph session, so you have to bear with me while I take pictures. And we're going to put that one on there. We'll go that way because it seems to fit nicer. Just put glue on all the tabs. It should grip nicely then. Half asleep this morning as well because it was a late night last night. Elizabeth decided to go to Perranporth with her mates last night, so we were on parents' taxi duty late in the evening. So it was quite late by the time we got to bed. We ended up back here last night eating a takeaway at the unit because it's closer to Perranporth than home is. We ended up sat here watching stuff on iPlayer on my computer. And stuff waiting for Elizabeth. Right, I'm going to let that end dry now. You see, it's a lot bigger building than the barn. It's going to be quite, hopefully, quite a decent looking building when it's done. And with a bit of luck, if I got the measurements right off of Google and the Oxford Diecast website, Oxford tractors of various different designs should fit in nicely. But I haven't got any Oxford Diecast tractors, so I can't test it. I just had to go off their dimensions on the website. But they should fit fine. Look good with an old Massey Ferguson or something stuck underneath it, hopefully, or inside it. Maybe use the gates on one end to create a pen for pigs or sheep or something like that. Grab yourself some prizer or knock sheep. Pop down your local model shop and grab a pack of farm animals and create a little pen and then a tractor in one side, animals in the other. Look really smart. That's the plan anyway. Hopefully. Done these in a second and we can get on with proper building. So I'm not really sure what to call it, whether to just call it a tractor store, machine store. Don't know. Suggestions, please. As we go through the kit build, any suggestions to what to actually call it? It's just a generic kind of farm outbuilding with a machine store. But any suggestions for a proper name? Just looked at those and thought it was a pile of all bran. It's obviously not, but it looked like all bran. Reminded me. It actually tastes very similar, doesn't it, to MDF? To be honest. Weird stuff with all bran. Right, so that's that one. So we've got two ends on there. So we'll photograph of that end. Right, we glue the middle dividing wall in now, which is going to go in that way. So make sure I put the glue in the right place. Okay. The nice thing about building stuff like this is it goes together really quickly, which makes it more fun. Right, now then, what we need to do now is think, because I'm going to get the construction process right in my head now as we do this, because if I go too far and we find we can't put the windows in or something daft like that, I could look a fool. So that's the main walls and stuff done there. What I'm thinking now is we should put this back liner in for the rear wall, which is ever so slightly long by about 0.1 of a millimetre. So I'll just trim the very end off that. So if we add these wraps now, it means that when the roof goes on and all the rest of it, it's much easier to do. Complete it all and not have to faff around wrapping it later. So that fits better. So that'll go in there. No idea what the letter of the wrap is. I give them letters. That's E in a wall wrap. E should be A really because it's the first one, but it's not. So we'll go with E. So that's going to be glued in the back there. Give that a nice stone finish. Right, scribble all over with Yoo-hoo. Every time I use Yoo-hoo, it brings back memories of building kits as a kid. Probably wouldn't be allowed to use Yoo-hoo these days as a young teenager, but used to use loads of it. Building super quick kits and stuff like that. Tina's very, very quiet. She's concentrating, I think.
We should go through the comments.
Right. Right. Okay, so the back wall, we have a stone wall now. That was good. Stone wall at the back. Not too bad at all. I've no idea how many people are tuning in this week. 167 this week. 167 people tuned in to try and find out what the heck I'm building out of this pile of bits, which is brilliant. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for watching us. Just don't realise the budget's on live as well, isn't it, at the moment? So, if anybody wants to give us budget updates, feel free to post in the comments. Let us know what's cracking off. I've got no idea what they're doing really at the moment, apart from fiddling about with taxes, no doubt. Right. Should we put some more wraps in? Yes, let's put that one in now. So that one, this here, you can tell by its shape where that's going to go. That's going to go in there, with the idea being that once that's on, it should all sit lovely and tidily in there, and those bits should just about line up. Right, now I'm just going to trim the edges off. I've cut them out slightly larger than I needed to. Why, I have no idea, but I have. So I'm just going to trim them to fit ever so slightly. So if you test fit these as you're going when you're building this, obviously depending on your joints and various other things in the timbers of the main building, you might need to adjust the wraps just a little bit so they fit perfectly, but you can just take a little sliver off the edge. So that's going to be glued onto there now. So same again, scribble all over with the Yoo-hoo. There we go. Should be plenty. I should get myself a little spatula or something, scraper to move the glue about really, but I'm never that organised. Ought to make a perspex one really. Although Yoo-hoo might not come off, that might not wipe off a perspex one actually. It might not. Anyway, right. So we're going to glue that on there now to give us a nice stone interior wall. Like so. Just making sure in the top of the wrap there's some little notches that are going to have the beams pushed into. So I just need to make sure that the slots in the wrap line up nicely, which they do. Okay, should be good enough. That's got that. We might as well do the other end while we're at it. So we're going to do this one. This time we want a inner end with a window reveal in it. So that'll go into there. Again, just going to perhaps trim it a little tiny bit. The reason I'm trimming this end particularly is because I want, when I put the front on, I want these teeth here or tabs to fit nicely in that. So if I've got too much paper in, this will end up sitting proud, and I don't want that. There'll be a space. That's not what we want. It's going together all right so far. I must remember to take a picture. You better tell in the instructions if there's a few steps that have got no pictures, because that's what I forgot. Where I forgot to take some. Take a photograph of that. No. Okay. They're looking all right, aren't they?
Right. Classic car storage. Call it cart shed.
That's true, actually. It's the sort of place you'd find a Morris Minor covered in a tarpaulin, wouldn't you? That's been there for 50 years. That used to belong to the farmer's wife, and she's not driven it for donkey's ages, or a Austin 7 or something, or.
Ian Bennett said it would look perfect in brick as a World War II fuel dump office and garage.
Shall I release the one kit in 14 different different titles? We just put the one kit out and call it different things for different things. That's the difficult thing though. What do you call it? It would work well as a World War II. What's it? Fuel thingy. It would. It works so many things. In fact, when I was doing it, designing it, I was talking to Dylan because it looks remarkably like if you did it in a cream render, it looks like Loo Station. If you flip it round and put the office the other end and put benches, I'm talking to Tina, but she's not looking.
Sorry.
Right. If you flip it, no, I am as well, but I'm sort of talking to you, pointing. If you flip it round, if you put that end and then put benches in here around the walls, you've got Loo Station.
Oh, right.
It's a modern branch line station. You're probably not really that fussed, to be honest. It's not that fascinating, is it really? Couldn't give a monkeys. Yeah.
Somebody else said a little barn owl. Used to come with a little barn owl.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, it should do, really. Sitting up in the rafters somewhere. Right, okay, we've got an inner wrap of a building. Look, we've got something that looks like a building now, which is brilliant. Okay, but let's wrap the back wall before we do the front, because when we do the front, it gets more technical, because we've got window reveal. So we'll just stick with the easy stuff first. We're going to glue the back on now. And again, just need to make sure everything lines up okay. The bottom of the wrap here feels a bit proud, so I'm just going to whip that bottom strip off there.
Ian's also asked what the rumbling noise is.
The rumbling is the fans downstairs. That can only be that. We had a new fan put in the other day, and it's stronger, isn't it? It's what is it? 3 kilowatt fan, something like that. I don't know. Big thing anyway. Because we've got another laser coming in downstairs. Well, it's here. We just need connecting up. We haven't had time to do it yet. So we need more suction. So there's a rumbling. Apologies for the rumbling. It's not my stomach.
Simon Cox says you won't get the Clarkson Lamborghini in it.
No, that's very, very true. We wouldn't. We'd have to do a much bigger one for a Clarkson Lamborghini. In fact, that would make a good diorama, wouldn't it? We could do. Somebody must make a Lamborghini model of that model of those tractors. I know Viking probably do one in 187. Excuse me, scraping this glue. Viking probably do a 187 version. So we could do a modern farm building with Clarkson sat outside, couldn't we? With this tractor trying to get in.
Bigger says. Sounds like a tractor shed.
Yeah, it probably is a tractor shed, really, isn't it? Now, there's one for Alan Butler, Model U. Get scan Clarkson and Caleb. See if you can get them scanned. That'll be brilliant. A mini Clarkson and a mini Caleb. It's Caleb, isn't it? Caleb. Yeah. If you've not watched, Caleb then. All right, Caleb. I don't know how you pronounce it. I have no idea how you pronounce it. I don't know. Caleb. If you've not watched it, well, even if you don't like Jeremy Clarkson, if you've not watched Clarkson's Farm, it is actually quite funny. It's quite a good watch.
Simon Cox says farmyard building number 1.
Well, yeah, generic, I suppose. It is. It's a farmyard building of some description. It's a thing.
In Cheshire back in the day, it would have been the machinery barn.
I suppose it probably is a machinery barn, a machine store, machinery barn, something like that. I suppose it's got to have machinery in it, but it has. We need to get across, I suppose, when we actually do the description for the product, that it could be anything you want it to be. And if we do, I will do a version actually in render, which can then be done as a rural station, like the Loo station, which is really small.
Andrew Finney says farm utility building.
Yeah, like it. Good one, Andrew. Right, there we go. Getting there, look. We have a stone building, that stone back to the building. These take a bit of cutting out, but don't take too long actually. I think all the wraps took me about 15 minutes to cut out, so it's not a big job. Looks daunting, but it's not. The only thing I've not done is put wraps in here, but with a closed door, window, all the rest of it, I don't think it's really necessary. If you wanted to detail inside, just paint it white, like whitewashed walls. Okay, this one, front piece now, should sit up in there, like so. So far, so good. So what? If anybody's into their thrash metal, they might get that reference. Or maybe not.
Geordie 1 rail funny. Just popped up to say you're doing a grand job.
Thank you. Tar, I'm just enjoying myself, just making stuff, and hoping it goes together all right. Right, how's my windows coming on?
Got gates.
Oh,
I'll do comments in a minute.
I need windows in a minute. I can do the roof anyway before I put the windows in. I can do the roof. It's fine. We can do the rafters and whatever. Trusses, not rafters, trusses. Right, okay, the front's gone on now. Did I take a picture of the back? No, I didn't. So let's have a picture of that. There we go. And a picture of the front. The front's gone in. There we go. Right, let's do this bit of wrapping here now. Doing more wrapping than Harrods at Christmas. And that should, we'll just notice that's a little bit too short, that wrap.
I just want to say we don't shop at Harrods.
No, we don't. Been once, I said been once shopping, we haven't. We've been in there once, I think, in our lives, haven't we? We haven't looked once when we went to London.
So, yeah.
Went in and went, oh, feel a bit out of place in here, and came back out again. No, we don't shop at Harrods. No. Yeah, right. Okay, so that'll be fine. That's all right. It doesn't really need wrapping this bit. I'm waffling now. It doesn't really need wrapping this bit, but for completeness, I suppose we can do it. I'll use the laser cut glue for this, just because it's quick and easy to work with. Yeah, it's kind of just for completeness. The piece at the top here, not really that necessary, unless you're going to get some kind of tiny camera that takes a photograph inside the building looking outwards, which no doubt somebody might do. Just covers that top section there, just in case. Well, yeah, you'd never see it. And the same as I've not bothered wrapping underneath here because these are dark brown. They're going to look like the underside of a creosoted beam, which is what we've got above the doors. And then what we'll need to do is when this is glued on and dried, I'll need to just cut back on here, down each one. You can just about see, if I can see it. I can now with the lights on. When I did it earlier, I didn't have the lights on. I couldn't see what I was doing. That's better. If I cut these strips now, these should just fold back nicely when they're glued on. That's better. I might make there's a lighter grey on the actual production one so you can see what to cut. And I've cut the window reveal slots as well. Okay, so that's going to be glued onto there. That's the theory. It's still ever so slightly long. So again, see if we can cut the bottom of this off. Fact. Safety first. Use the safety ruler. Okay. I need to use. It doesn't bend enough to hold these. The desk must be slightly bent. The wrap's slipping. Do it that way. Keep out the way of my fingers. Here we are. What's that one? That's better. Okay. Right, I'm going to do that on again, line all the castellated bits up because that's where hopefully the roof trusses are going to go. More yoo-hoo. Right, I'm going to leave that for a few seconds just so the glue starts to go a bit tacky. Just going to hope that they're going to fit in there, which they should do. Yeah, that's all right. Good, that's a relief. I can see green windows appearing as well now. Well, that's a decent green. Like that. Okay, this wrap's going on now. So working with wraps is not difficult. You just got to take your time, but it pays off because when you wrap the building, when it's all wrapped and done, you're not going to have any edges showing. And it's going to look hopefully pretty darn good. Okay, smooth that on. Right, I'm going to use laser glue on the tabs just because it's quicker and easier in terms of making it going off. you, it takes a while sometimes to go off and you get your fingers covered in it. So if I just use this instead, I can get a nice corner by rubbing it with the finger, end of my finger, fold it down, it grips really quickly. That's all right for an edge on a stone building. And same again with this one. Okay, so let's wrap the edges down on there. Now we're going to do each of these tabs, which hopefully that should, but what we probably could have done before we made it, we built the building, we could have left that wrap until last, and that one. Might put a note on the instructions for that. If you put that inner wrap on later, you'll get a better finish, particularly on the brick version. It works okay on here because the stone just blends in. You can't really see the edge at all. But on the brick version, you'll probably see it. But that's the whole point of this morning session, is for me to test this, see what works, see what doesn't. Okay, fold that one around now and try just ease that into there using my finger end and my fingernail. There we go. Yeah, I don't think you'll see the stone join on the stone there. On the brick you might, so I'll say about putting the inner wraps on these end walls, put those in last after you've wrapped all the outside of the building, I think. Okay, I'm going to do these two, then we've got the windows to wrap, well, window reveal to wrap. The decorator's still working hard on the windows at the minute.
Nearly done.
And that's Kate peeling off sticky things off of cellophane wallets downstairs, if you can hear that weird noise. Right, that's it. Wrap that centre pillar. Get that nice and neat somewhere. But I don't know what I've done with it. I had a grey pen. Don't know. No idea. Anyway, that'll do. So that's that centerpiece. So there we go. That's looking more like a nice outbuilding, isn't it? Now we need to wrap the door and window reveals. Then we can add the doors, add the windows, put the roof on, stick gates on the front, make it look complete then, hopefully. So that's not bad actually. It's gone together quite well. We've got to wrap the ends as well, which we'll do in a minute. Okay, let's do these tabs here. So we've cut them, you see that, cut them so they'll bend back, like so. Okay, so a little bit of glue on each tab.
Remember any photos?
Yeah, I'm just going to do one of the front when I've got the tabs bent round and all done now. I'm just using my finger just to rub against the MDF, try and get a nice sharp edge on the corners. I'll do this window, these window and door ones. You probably can't see a lot of what I'm doing here, but I'm literally just folding the tabs back. And I'll use the knife on this one just to assist a little bit. I can just about get my finger in. There we go. Right, do the window ones, and I'll take some pictures of that. As you can see, a long tip on your glue is quite good for this. Just use the blade of the knife to press the paper down a bit. Make sure all the tabs are folded round inside. There. Doesn't look too bad actually. And obviously with the stone building, if it's a bit wobbly, it's fine because stone buildings aren't exactly neat, are they usually? Certainly not around here. There's some really run-down buildings, and this should look pretty good. It's one of those. Take a picture of those tabs. So that's that. So that's ready for windows. So we're going to put the end wraps on now. So same as before. Should give us a completed main structure now. Should look pretty darn good, hopefully. Be interesting to see what you guys will turn these things into. If you do, anybody that does model World War II and stuff like that decides to use it as a fuel dump or whatever it was, and fuel store. That one. Now on this outer wrap there are no cutouts for the beams and stuff. We thought we'd hide those up inside underneath the wrap, but if you wanted to have the end of the beam showing, you could just put in little nicks in the top there, little cuts, so you can see them, the beams, if you want to, but I've hidden them so it looks more like a solid wall. Hopefully the roof will go together nicely now. Can you see this? I'm just making sure I'm not drifted off camera. There we are. Decorator's nearly done. It's quite bright, that brown, isn't it?
Mm.
It'll do for now. You can always, well, I'll put the windows together when that's dry. If you find a darker one, and sort of dry brush a bit of darker brown over the top of it, just gently, give it a two-tone thingy. Right, there we go. It's half decent. That's the end walls wrapped. Got a picture of that, and a picture of that. I can't remember if I took one or not. There we go. It doesn't look too bad actually, does it? Quite pleased with that. It's coming together nicely. Now the wraps on the ends just want a little tiny bit of a trim, so I'll do that. Just running the knife down along the edge of the MDF core. Just take the very top off. Do the end as well. There we are, much neater. Lovely, like that. Pleased with that. Okay, now what we can start doing is gluing these roof trusses in. I'm hoping they're going to fit all right. It might be a little tight perhaps, but
Black Box Alpha.
yeah.
There's a carp barn. You could also make a great base for a scratch conversion to a modern house barn conversion.
It would indeed, yeah. In fact, yeah, big, what's it, bifold doors. We need to do some bifold doors that fit there. Then a nice stable door, or modern, door, bifolds. You've got a, barn conversion, holiday let, whatever, yeah. Good idea, like that. More jobs, more stuff to do. But yeah, we could do an add-on with some bifold doors, that'd be brilliant. Right, I'll start gluing these in. I'm going to leave the end ones so I've got a bit of room to get my fingers in to put the windows in properly.
Roger says, oh well, something else to build even if I haven't got anywhere for one. Don't tell the boss.
That Roger man.
Yeah.
Morning, Roger. Hope you're well.
And G says, outbuilding, outhouse, machine shed, tractor shed.
Could sell it as a KX64, whatever you want it to be.
Ian Bennett's asked for the approximate dimensions.
Ah, right then. There you go. It's yay big. It's 17 yays long. No, it's 17 centimeters, so 170 mil by roughly 72 millimeters. 170 by 72. So it's quite largish, but not enormous. 170 mil by 72 mil. All right, I'm just working my way along now, putting these roof trusses in now on here. Hopefully these are all going to go in okay. These are going all right so far, so we should be okay. I have to say I'm really enjoying doing this.
Somebody said the rumbling sounds like the main line to Penzance.
It does, but that's over there. That's
I
that
think part
that
of it
way.
is the traffic as well out on.
There is a bit of traffic, yeah, traffic noise. Yeah, the main line to Penzance is about what, 300 yards away over the back of the field. You sort of hear it sometimes. You do hear the horn, diesel horn, whatever.
Ian Bennett says it's the Diddley Squat Farm Shop.
It is. It's very similar. Yeah, it's the Naff All farm shop. There's Naff All in it. Right, get in. This is a similar building to that kind of thing, isn't it? Well as a farm shop.
Nick Fort says, while compiling a list of kits to purchase to further my build, I need farm gates, and the thought entered my head, why do farmers put their gates in the muddiest part of the field?
But they don't, do they? Because the animals make it muddy because they gather round the gate, I suppose. That must be why. You think it's the muddiest part of the field. I suppose it is. It ends up the muddiest part of the field, doesn't it? The movable gates. Right, leave that so I can just get my finger in on that one. Roof trusses going in, look good. They're looking all right. I'll take a picture of them. Pleased with them. Right, my doors and windows and stuff are starting to look in. Yeah, that's all right. They look nice. Yeah, suitably weathered and scruffy. That's what we want, isn't it? We could probably dry brush some grey over the top of that actually when it's on here.
Right.
When it's on, and then find a darker brown in a minute when I've cut those out. Find darker brown and just give it a bit of a light brushing on that one, on the gates and the other bits. I'll put these two in. Then I'll fit the windows. Then we'll come back and finish the roof off. Door and windows.
USN 17 said if you're considering doing a small rural station, a good subject for a small station building would be Pet Rockstow on the North Devon and Cornwall Junction light railway. All right. Sadly demolished.
Oh. Has anybody got any photos that might be difficult to photograph that one? But any pictures you've got would be brilliant for that. Oh, she's even painted the back of the windows and doors. Look. I thought Tina was just going to paint the front. Thorough job. Always a thorough job with Tina. There we are. Let's get this. Come on, come out.
Gary Mennel says, when you're doing the wraps on the end, I've noticed that there is a white piece left on. When you put the end pieces on, can you see the overlap, or is it thin enough you can't see it?
From a general viewing point of view, it's pretty much thin enough to not really see it. If I can find my grey pen, which was around somewhere, but I don't know where it's gone, it might be on my desk, you can just colour the edges, even with a soft pencil. If you've got a B or a 2B or 4B pencil, just run a pencil down the edge, but you don't really notice it. They're there, but they're not like, wow.
Andrew Finney's just said about colouring over with pencil.
Yeah, just go with a soft pencil. It's something I keep forgetting to buy, a soft pencil. I've got some grey IKEA felt pens that Elizabeth had years ago, which I do sometimes use, but I can't remember really where they are. Right, door. Really easy door, easy to assemble. 3 parts to the door.
Alec Hudson says might be worth doing a version with slate walls for Welsh narrow gauge layouts.
Yeah, I've got to get a texture sorted for that. That's the difficult bit. I need somebody who lives in Wales to go and find a big building that's made out of slate and take a photograph of the largest area of slate wall they can possibly find and send it to me. Or we just have to go on holiday to Wales at some point. I might have some photographs from where we did go to Wales a few years ago, actually. I'll have to have a look. Okay, so the door goes together by 3 layers. We've got the frame. We're going to put a frame on the back just for completeness. All that's going to do, not that we're going to open the door on this one or anything, but the frame on the back will just give us more meat, for want of a better word. Gives us more volume to the door.
Sorry, David Swallows asked, where do you get the different blue applicators from? I take it he means those.
These, they're ours. SMS tip 1 and SMS tip 2. If you search for those on the site, they fit laser cut kit glue, and they'll also fit any of the rocket type deluxe bottles. They'll probably fit glue and glaze.
I need to go further down the comments because somebody's already answered.
Oh right, okay.
Ian Bennett's already
Oh right. It's self. It just looks after itself. It's brilliant. The comment page is great. You've been concentrating on painting these.
Nick Daniel said, "What's your cutting surface?"
It is one of our A2. Yeah, A2 cutting mats.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. It's just search cutting mat on the website. It's one of ours. Well, sort of. It's one that we stock anyway. It's an A2 cutting mat, grey.
John Walton's asked whether it be in an N-gauge.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I need to have a go in Engage actually with them. I really do. Right, that looks absolutely spot on.
With regard to the white, you know, when you...
Yeah.
It's not whether you see that white, the white join.
Yeah.
What he's on about is because you leave
a
piece that you take out. Can you see that?
Oh, no.
Is what he's on about.
No. No, you can't. No. It's thin enough not to really... No, it's... No, with the stone texture, you can't see it. I can't see it. I've got my glasses on. There's not really a lip.
No.
It's no. If you sat and rubbed it for ages and really smoothed it off, then perhaps it would be, but would be there. But that door looks absolutely spot on. Where Tina's just painted it. Look, I really like that. It's got that weathered sort of just. You don't like it then?
Yeah, I do.
It's it just looks nicely weathered. It's got that. Just. What's it? And I think if we got a bit of grey at some point and just put a really just dry brush the bottom with grey, just to take where you get, you know, where it's not fitted properly and it's been scraping on the floor for years, like Leonard's used to when you open the door for the freezer room, as he called it.
Andrew Finney says you could probably get away with half the number of the trusses.
Yeah, but in real life you'd have more, wouldn't you? Because they're usually about 18 inches apart. And I wanted it sort of quite real. So when you take a photograph, because I know what people are like to do, you get it on your layout and you put a tractor in there and you get your camera and you take a picture there and it looks up at the roof, into the roof. You're going to see the trusses. You want enough trusses for it to look like is it real or is it a model? And I wanted it to be, so you probably would get away with half of them, just fit half if you want to fit half, but I've put that many in because it should sort of have, there should be, it's probably still less than there should be, to be honest. Right, I'm going to try and glaze the windows. I'm going to do windows in this end, windows here, window in the top, and then the other one up here is going to have a vent in. If I can give you this, let me cut all these pieces out and I'll give you this back. Then you can
Stephen Sandiford says, can't get over the speed of your build. How many Red Bulls for breakfast?
I haven't done any Red Bull. I never had one. Never had a Red Bull. It's quite straightforward, to be honest. The build it's not difficult. I'm not doing anything that anybody else can't do. There's no techniques here that I'm using that are things that are learned over like 10 years or something. I'm literally just removing parts from a sheet and sticking them together. I'm not doing much. The only thing I prepared before was I cut out the wraps. That's the only thing that I did to speed the whole process up. That's all I've done. Oh, I need these done as green as well, please.
What bits?
Done as green. I did.
You didn't?
I did.
You said doors and windows.
Yeah, I meant the fascia boards as well. I might not fit the fascia boards, but if we paint them green, then we've got them. Then I might fit them.
Right, John Boxall says,
yes.
Can you supply extra stone paper so you could wrap the inside of the office bit if you want to leave the door open?
TX220 on the site, it's already there. TX220 is the one, and I've got to do a version which is whitewashed stone. I think I've got the basics of it done, but I can't remember because it's that long ago since I played around with it. But TX220 is the Cornish, well, it's not Cornish stone, it's just old stone. It is a Cornish stone wall, but it's a photograph of a wall down by the church in Mebber, which I've photographed. It's a big wall. I photographed lots and lots of parts of it and mashed it all together, and it works quite well. So yeah, TX220 is that one, I think it is. If I'm wrong and anybody's watching that knows differently, please comment and say. I think it's 220. But yeah, you could wrap the office wall if you wanted to. Oh, I could actually just chuck another sheet in, couldn't I? I could just chuck a sheet in. I might put a sheet of whitewashed in, because you said you'd whitewash. Would you whitewash it? I don't know. I'm just thinking back to my granddad's farm. It probably would be whitewashed if it was his. Inside, just to make it so you can see stuff in there. I will see what I can do. Leave it with me. It might add another day or two for if I whitewash it. If I actually do optional full wraps for that inside of the office building, it might take me. I just might not have time this week to get it out and get it done. That's all. So it might be next week before the whole thing's ready. We shall see. Right, all I've done with the windows is, which you probably can't see, is I've glued them onto a cellophane wallet. So you could glue them onto the cellophane that comes with the kit when it's done. Just glue the frames onto there, and then I'm just cutting the frames out now. And there. And then what I'll do then is I'll double them up. Just bear with me while I cut them out. Right, cellophane stayed on, that's right. Okay, so I turn that one over now, and I'm going to glue this one on the back. When you paint the laser board, you don't really need to use primer, particularly if you want a rough looking finish. If you want a nice neat finish to the window frames, so say you were doing a barn conversion or something, then you could paint them with a spray can, a rattle can. which will give you a neater, sort of much more uniform finish to your windows. Whereas if you paint them with a brush, you get a nice rustic kind of finish. Yeah.
Well, don't need to paint the back.
No, just the fronts. Just the fronts, fine. Those. Right, so just glue those back to back. So you have a scruffy looking window there. Then we want to do the back of this one as well. I think I ought to probably include wraps for the office building, the office at the end. So I'll try and get them sorted. I've got room on the sheet, so it's just lazy not doing them, isn't it, really? Yeah, it'll do. Right, so we have 2 windows, which hopefully should fit. Literally just layered pieces of laser board sandwiched with a bit of what's it in the middle, cellophane. Okay, we're going to do a vent the other end, so the vent piece just going to cut out now. Glue the 2 vents back to back. Don't really need to glue them back to back, but it just makes it easy to fit the building, that's all. Like so. And then glue the outer frame on. When I say it makes it easier, it's just because it makes it a bit more chunky, so you've got something else to hold on to, or more to hold on to, as they're quite small. So there's windows and vent sorted. Quick photo. Right, now it's tweeter time. Let's see if I can get these windowsills. The windowsills are like an eye, a big fat eye shape. In theory, if we've made them correctly, they should. Just about fit into there. Just about. A bit tight with the thickness of the paper. Not that the paper is very thick, but with the thickness of the paper. They're a little on the tight side, so what I'll probably do is adjust those on the sheet, laserboard sheet, just give them another 0.5 mil or so. But that one went in without any hassle, so I don't, well, without any play on it. So if I can just squeeze the window in as well above it, which is going to be very tight, but let me just go. It's gone in. I'm just going to see if I can find the pen, the grey pen. Just bear with me a second. I don't know where it's gone. Not a clue. I was here somewhere, but anyway, not to worry. just for colouring up the edges on this, around this window frame, that's all. Because it could do with being a little bit, just take the white off the edge of the paper. Not mass, not like really obvious, but it's there. I know it's there. And I just need to straighten up the window in the reveal a little bit. But don't forget you're building an old building here, so we can get away with a bit of an older kind of derelict look or damaged look. Yeah, just need a pen. It's annoying now because I don't have the pen. I might do it with paint actually. A bit of grey paint in a minute. Right, this one again the other end. So I'll put the window sill in. Just press it into place with the tweezers. That one's gone in better actually. Yeah, I'll adjust those. So the windowsill's in, it just pushes in, sits in like that. And then the theory is we should just about be able to get the vent to push in as well. With a bit of luck. But it is very tight. The production version won't be. Just need to get that top part of the... No, it's not wanting to go, is it? It's not wanting to go. I need to adjust that. Modify that a little tiny bit. Just need to add another 1/2 mil, I think, to the hole. And then it will go in fine. With it being such a small part. Oh, it's gone in. Just looks rough as a badger's watch, it, but then you rarely get a pristine farm building anyway, so for the moment, for the purpose of the exercise, it's fine. Okay, I'll just secure that in the back of there. Right, I've just realised I put them in the wrong end anyway, so I put the vent in the wrong end. I wanted the vent in that end and I put the window in there. I've done it the wrong way around, so there you go. But it's in. Definitely got to find this blinking pen. It's frustrating me and annoying me now. Right, okay, nearly done. Windows, not window, another windowsill. So that one goes into there. This should fit easier because it's bigger. The smaller ones are the tight ones, he says. Okay. So windowsill in again. So photograph of that. Right, window. This one should fit easier because it's bigger. I tend to slide in some easier. I want a snug fit with the windows, but not like super snug that it all collapses and Just check that it's sitting evenly all around. Okay. I think that's in. Just about straight-ish. Yeah, I think if I had 0.1 or 0.2 of a mil on each of these frames, or the holes, for the windows, it's going to work fine. Windowsills need tweaking just a little bit. That's where I've made the holes too tight. Right, now we can get back to the roof. And we're about done. Until, no, we're not, because Tina's still got some bits over there which I need to glue on. So let's get back to the roof. What time is it? Yeah. No idea what the time is. 10 past 11. It's not too bad, just over an hour to do this, and it's been winging it. I've been hoping it's going to work. Most of it has, just the tweaks on the windows that I'm a bit annoyed with, but can't get everything right all the time. Most of the time I don't. Thirsty. Right. There we are. That's all the roof trusses in. That's lovely. Thank you very much. Tina's done the fascia board things, what they're called. Don't necessarily have to add the fascia boards, but I think we will just keep it looking nice and neat. Okay, all the trusses are in. Let's have a photograph of the front of there now, like so, and a photograph of that. Right, now then, these hopefully go in that way. So they fit in one way. And in theory, if you line the tops of everything up with a bit of luck, they should all sit down really neatly.
Stephen Sandiford said about suggest instructions to do the windows before roof beams.
Yeah, that's why I left the end ones out so I could get in. It's but yeah, put windows in first, really, ideally. It would make it easier.
Simon Cox says there are a few slate lines in Cornwall, might be some walls locally.
I'll have a look here. Nearly done. Slight wobble to a few bits, but then a bit of a wobble on the roof. We'll just add a bit of character to it anyway, so I'm not going to lose any sleep. But it's in, I think.
Dave says all you need is a handle for the door now.
Yeah. I did think about doing one, but it would be so small. It's less than a mil. So there's a door handle marked on there, but it's just not actually a physical handle. It'd be too small. Couldn't really laser it, to be honest, and get it to work properly. Did think about it. Right, just secure this beam in place.
Ian Bennett says the windows would never have been glazed, the little windows.
Top, probably not, no. Which is why we've gone for the vent on one end. So the option is there in the kit. It's up to you. You can glaze them if you want, or you can leave them completely unglazed, leave them as vents. The choice is yours. We're nearly done. Right, they're in. That's in. Let's get this one on, make sure I go the right way. The reason why I'm checking this is there's an extra notch out of that one where it sits over the internal wall. Obviously, if it was a real building, it wouldn't have notches and stuff cut in the beam. It would just be a solid beam. But to make this work as a kit, it's just easier to put notches in stuff. And you know it's going together right as well. He says as he struggles to get this piece together.
John Vauxhall said if it's a tractor machine shed, the end bit would probably be a workshop storeroom.
Yeah.
They're on it before you even realised. Andrew Stevenson said if you put the window in the wrong end.
I have, yeah. I have put the window in the wrong end. Now this beam's giving me jip now.
I doubt it don't mean about bacon sandwiches.
Oh, stop. Now is not the time or the place to discuss bacon sandwiches. Right, for some reason that one's being a pain. Right, no it's not, it's gone in now. Well, that works, just give them a squeeze with the tweezers. That's alright, it's gone in now. It was being a nuisance. Oh, right, here we go. Okay, roof beams are going in. One more to go, we can get the slates on. And then we've got some
Where's
gates.
the gates going?
Oh, I should show you.
Oh.
Show you in a minute. They want to go across the front.
Oh, right, I see.
If you wanted to put animals in, for example, you put gate across. You'd probably put something across there, but you would use whatever you've got. You'd use whatever you've got kicking around on the farm. So
Right.
a bit of corrugated iron, old doors, anything. Probably a couple of gates. I don't know. Just thought if you put a couple of gates on, you could just put sheep in there. And just put two gates across the front. That was the idea. My idea with the gates, include the gates in the kit. That was what that was.
Bacon, egg, sausage, salad.
Oh, stop! I've just eaten an egg, but I had a hard-boiled egg.
With mushrooms?
Ah, give over. It's a shame Tom doesn't deliver from up the road. If you're down this way at any point, there's a chap, it's called Tom's Takeout, isn't it? On the A390. Little takeout in a lay-by. And I think he's a trained chef because the way he does the stuff is really fancy. But he does bacon sandwiches and sausage sandwiches, just huge burgers and all manner of things. But he's just on the side of the road on the A390. It's brilliant. It's really, really nice. Far better than other suppliers that are well known and all over the country. His burgers are much nicer. Right, there we go. Beams are in. Taking shape lovely now, look. I'm pleased with this, apart from my poorly fitting parts, which we shall rectify before we release this. Okay, the ridge tiles on this I've done in 2 strips because I couldn't fit them on this sheet. I wanted to conserve material, otherwise you'd end up with an A4 sheet with loads of tiles on that you would never use, or wasted sheet. So I just
Ian Bennett says that you can cannibalise a section of your corrugated sheeting fence as a lean-to roof.
Yep.
On the back of the barn.
Yep. That worked well. KX22, is it? You should know better than me, I do. Yeah, that would work. Any corrugated type stuff would work. You could do anything you like, really. I mean, it's like with the barn, like with any other things, other buildings. You can go down and do what you like. What?
Andrew Stevenson, did you hear the siren?
I did hear the siren.
Andrew Stevenson said, "You'll not sell many ice creams going that speed."
I like it. Yeah, very good. Right, I'm just separating these strips of roof tiles, and we can glue them on, and we're done. Then I've got to go back to my desk, fix the bits that didn't work right. Most of it's worked, but a few bits are wrong. Fix those, give it a name, write the instructions, and at some point get prepared for doing this thing on Sunday, as I'm nowhere near prepared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 10. All right, 10 each side. So we have 10 sets of things. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, just making sure I've got 10 for each side and I don't get them wrong. And in theory, they should be handed so that you have a wider slate on alternate ends. That's the theory. And we're going to glue in fact, let's put these bits on first now. We'll put the fascias on first so we can put the slates over the top of the fascias. Don't normally bother with fascia boards, but I thought we'd do it on here because it'd be a nice finishing touch, perhaps.
Andrew Stevenson says, are the tile slates like a wrap or are they painted card MDF?
They are like a wrap. They're printed. They are laser cut. They are made of grey card, which is about the right thickness for a scale, 00 scale slate. And we've printed weathering on them. So they are printed with white, grey, yellow, black, random weathering. So that they're grey card. On the back, you can just see the solid grey card. So they're printed with 5 colours, 5 toner colours, whatever, 5 colours of weathering so that you don't have to paint and weather. That's the theory. I'll try and get that to glue on the end there neatly-ish. So I don't have to bother with the fascia boards. I just thought it might add a bit of extra colour and dynamic to the building, that's all. We could put barge boards on as well, but I thought there were probably less likely to be barge boards on a building like this necessarily. But you might decide to leave these off. If I can fit barge boards on or parts for barge boards, which I might be able to do, I may put them on the laser board sheet if I can fit them on.
Why didn't you do a wrap for the inside of the end bit then?
Why? Because I just thought, can't see anybody doing much with the thing and leaving the door open really, but
right,
I just didn't think I thought it was quite small. It was tiny, so I thought, well, I don't need a wrap, but it's easy enough to do one, so I ought to do one. So therefore I better do one, haven't I, really?
Oh yeah, it's the other end.
Yeah, it's just that you would not, well, 80% of people that build the kit will probably just leave it like that.
Yeah.
And by the time it's on the layout and it's dark in there or whatever, then you're just not going to see it. But I will do something else for me to do. I'll get it done. I'll do it. It needs doing, really. And I'll do same with the barge boards for the end. I think I'll add barge boards for the end of the building as well. Okay, so the fascia board's on. Front and back. I've just noticed, why has that moved? That wrap's moved there. That's not good, is it? Not happy with that bit. Can't have glued the wrap down properly on that piece. Looks rough as a what's it, that does. I'll tidy that up later. Right, barge boards are on. So we're going alternate ways with these. You can overhang them ever so slightly. Then you could, if you wanted to, you could put guttering on if you're using, I don't know, model use guttering or something.
In Panic says barn doors are always left open. Have you never heard the saying, well, you're born in a barn?
Oh yeah, true. Right, I'm just trying to get these to slates to
A
glue
couple
on.
of people are saying about that end bit being whitewashed.
Yeah. It would have been whitewashed if it was on my granddad's farm. It would have been a whitewashed room, I think. So you can see what you're doing. So I think I'll add a whitewashed wrap for that. I'll do one this afternoon if you've got time. Although we'll probably need to give your hand downstairs a bit, but I'll try and get one done. Right, the first one of these is quite hard to get on because you're gluing against the card against this blooming cut MDF, so the resin and glues in the MDF tend to resist.
Phil Thomas says he always glues the roof tile, roof slates to brown pavement before fitting on the actual roof, which enables you to do the broken missing tile bits a lot easier.
Yeah,
you're
true.
working on a flat surface.
True. Good idea. I suppose, yeah, you just cut a section of brown paper the same size as this. Same size as your roof. And start gluing. Right. So what I've done there is on each end you've got, see, a large slate and a large slate, and so it offsets them properly. So what I'm going to do now is work my way up the roof, and I will try and remember to put some broken slates in. Let's have a broken slate somewhere here. We'll have a missing one up here, almost missing. Like so. And we need a, which one do we need now? Should we get the right way around here? That one. That one. We'll have another one. Wonky slate on this one. There'll be another one there. Once we get going on this, it shouldn't take too long. I'm hoping anyway. It's when I get nearly to the top and find that I've used all 10 strips. And I need more than 10 strips, in which case my plan to conserve material and get it all to fit on one sheet isn't going to work. It's going to look daft. So I'm going to have to get a hole in that one. Look. That should look alright actually when it's got the other one over the top. Not the most exciting bit, this, but it's taking shape nicely. A few more damaged and slightly wonky slates. Just cutting bits off and that's all, nothing fancy. I need to talk a bit. All right. There is silence. I'm concentrating. I'm trying to get it to work right. Yeah. So, but I like these tiles because you haven't got to do any weathering or anything. Look at that. That's taking shape lovely now. Just so straightforward, and it's quite therapeutic to do. I suppose I'm sort of just sitting here in a slightly meditative state while I'm building it, just enjoying what I'm doing. But they work really well. So they look like they've been covered in years and years of moss and lichen, or lichen, whatever it's called, lichen, whatever, lichen, yellow bits, bird muck, you name it. But you don't need to do anything else to them. You can still weather them more if you want, put some streaks of sort of watery streaks, whatever, down them if you wish, but you don't need to. And I think
Big Raven says hello.
Hey, you're right. How are you doing? Has the same name as me. Fellow Justin. It's a fellow Justin.
Oh right.
Yeah, it's coming on. All right, I'm drooping a bit one side, which is not unusual. So I need to make sure I pull that side back up. Ah, my glue tip's blocked. Don't do that on me. Don't block on me. Ah, tip's blocked. Bloody hell. The whole point of that is putting it in there, but it's still blocked up. Does it occasionally? That's water. Crying out loud. Yeah, I do like these roof slates. We did the terracotta ones as well, and I'm hoping to do some darker kind of, I can't remember what they're called. There's a name for them. It's not brindle, but there's a name for it, like a dark brown roof tile, which I'm hoping to do soon when I get some time at my desk, which would be brilliant. Yeah, these just make it so much easier to do a roof. You haven't got to faff around painting. As you see, I've not really always painted on this. Tina's painted the doors and the window frames, which you could even leave natural laser board if you wished anyway. You don't have to paint them. But it's taking, it's all right, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's coming on all right. Time for another broken slate, I think. Let's go with, I need to get the right side pieces. I need that one now. Measure our broken slate. Let's go at this end. Let's chop a bit off that one. And then we'll have one near it, which is going to be missing in a similar sort of way, like so.
Sam Hill's got a question on glue. He uses rocket card glue. Is laser kit glue much better?
It goes off quicker for wood parts. It goes off quicker, sets quicker. Morning, Sam. Yeah, it sets quicker. That's all. It works well on laser board and stuff like that. Rocket's fine. This just sets a bit quicker. So when you're trying to do something like this, it's a bit. There's less holding parts together while they dry and stuff like that. It's a bit easier. In usual style, it's slightly more expensive than rocket, as these things always are. But I use a combination of the two, to be honest. Both. This stuff isn't so good on pure card, but it works well on laser board and MDF, so it's good for that. And as you can see with the tiles for this, I've made the tiles exactly the right length, so you haven't got to faff around trimming stuff. You can just get on and build your building.
Say thank you to Stephen Sanderford for his comment. Door open, LED light above, fitted out with ScaleModelScenery workbenches, shelves, boxes, oil drums, engineers' tools, plenty of opportunities for detailing and extra sales.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to see what people do with it. I hope people like the kit. I hope it goes, it looks all right on people's layouts. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pleased with it. It turned out in the right way. It's turned out as grotty as I wanted it to be, if you know what I mean. It looks a scruffy old outbuilding, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a scruffy looking thing that can be used for all manner of applications on a layout, and I think we'll definitely do a modern halt station thing based on it, which will be a bit like the Loo one. I think I'll swap it round. This all depends on me actually getting some time at my desk, which is always fun, because we've been quite busy, haven't we, recently? Which is good. It's just a bit of a challenge. There's a lot going on. But if I can get some time at my desk, we can crack on with these, get some different variants done. I definitely will do the wraps for the end. It'll probably take me about 10 minutes to draw them, because I've got the textures anyway. I just need to make sure I get the parts the right size and the right shape, and obviously see if I can retrofit them to this, so I can take some photographs, which could be interesting. Trying to retrofit them, but they might go on. Right, just overhang the slates a little tiny bit. Excuse me. I'm nearly done.
Did you not put that one in? Was it one there?
No, I stripped the window. I couldn't get it in, but because I've made the holes too tight.
Right.
I had to remove some parts off the one I'd done as a vent, and the easiest way to do it was to make it thinner and just remove some parts. So the finished version will be betterer. Right, it shouldn't take many minutes to do this side of the roof. Then we've got it to a point where I can take some photographs of the actual. I haven't taken any photographs of doing the roof, have I? You idiot. I best do some. It's pretty straightforward, the roof, but we do need a photograph or two. Do one now. So the build's no more complex than the barn, the KX63 outbuilding, or anything like that. It's no more complex than that at all. It's just that it's a bit bigger. We've got 8 rows of tiles to do. and then put the ridge tiles on, and we are done.
Gates.
Oh, gates, yeah, bugger. Forgot about the gates. Gates. Best do them, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Put gates across the front, I think. Might do one gate open and one gate closed. And then if we're... The pool's about shut now, isn't it, down in Medal? I'll have to order an Oxford tractor. Unless I can catch Paul at some point in the village and see if he's open. I'll go and pick one up. I might be able to get one on Sunday, actually. Somebody might have one at the show on Sunday. Maybe.
Your daughter says, "What's up, Dad?"
What's up? What's on? What are you up to? Has Lola stopped howling now? Lola's at home today with Elizabeth because it's half term, so she's at home. We've got a quiet day at work today with no barking and howling and fussing about. Nearly forgot some broken tiles for this side, but I'll do them now. Some broken tile on here as well. Nearly done. I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. Yeah, I think we'll definitely do a station version of this, and we'll come up with some other things that we can do. We'll do an add-on pack at some point. Might not be this week, but we'll do an add-on pack to turn it into a modern barn conversion-y type thing.
Elizabeth says, yes, she stopped howling, so she went back to sleep. And she's still in bed.
And she's still in bed?
Oh. Tim's asked what the show is on Sunday.
The show on Sunday is... wherever the piece of paper went, it is what? Cornwall Model Railway Exhibition. It's Sunday the 31st of October 2021. It's at Carnbray Leisure Centre. It's been run by the Cornwall O-Gauge Society. It starts at 10 AM and it finishes at 4 PM. There's supposed to be 15 plus layouts, but I know they have modified some of their plans due to COVID, social distancing and all that jazz. So I'm not sure how many layouts there will be there or how many traders, I don't know. We're taking a few random bits out of the drawers, whatever we've got in stock really. Can't guarantee we've got any particular thing because we've got a lot of stuff's going out as quick as we can cut it at the moment, which is brilliant, but we'll take what we've got. We'll take a few dioramas and bits and bobs, catalogues, probably take this building, so if anybody wants to come along and have a look, they can do. But we shall be there 10 till 4 on Sunday. Not sure whether it's just me going, whether it'll be me and Elizabeth going, me and Tina. Who knows? Yeah. We haven't fully planned or decided on what we're doing yet, but I'll be there.
Cockle said, "Aunt Lizzie," and now we all know that. And then Ian says, "So Lizzie has yet to find a list of jobs you left for us to do today." She's gone, "Hang on, I'm off to make breakfast. See you later, lads."
Oh, she makes me laugh.
Tim says he's taking pod pasties.
No. Oh, well, I don't know. I might pick up a pasty. Perhaps maybe a Mary's one, probably. Cornish pod's too far from here. It's an hour and a half from us in the opposite direction. I might take a pasty. We'll see. I don't know. Sometimes they give me indigestion though, so that's not good.
Jonathan Richardson's said that he knows it's a broken record, but O-gauge version.
Yeah. I need to. It's a time, innit? It's time. It's time. I'd love to just say yes to everybody and go, yeah, I can do that in an N-O, whatever gauges. I want to do some 1/35 stuff as well, but Christ.
David Charles says, so Justin, you've been on the tiles then?
Ah. Very good. Right, last row of tiles. In and done. Like so. That's it, last row of tiles, nearly done. Just going to hold that a minute because they're peeling apart. Because the glue's not gripped yet. There we go. Touch up for that actually. It's alright, isn't it? Nice. It's a nice scratty old building. Right, we need to score the middle of these now. These are the ridge tiles now. So now we've got the full roof. I'll take a picture before I forget. Full roof done. Okay, I'm going to score down the middle of here with me empty ballpoint pen. Just so it makes it easy to fold. It's literally a big biro with nothing in it. I take the ink out and I can use it to score a card. So there, done. Undo that one. Like that. And in theory, he says, it should allow us to start and fold along the ridge tiles. Like so. If I get it a bit tighter than I actually want it for the roof, like that. Do the same with this one.
Digger, Ian, Steve and John all say it looks really good.
Thank you. I'm pleased with how it's turned out actually. There's a few bits that I need to fix. But that's normal we normally do 3 or 4 builds of each thing before we release stuff. And it's one of those things that this has come together over the course of a week. The bandstand took nearly 2 years to get the damn thing to work right. This has come together really quickly. Obviously the shapes are simpler on this one. Okay, roof tiles in, or ridge tiles in. Second lot of ridge tiles in. And that's it. Oh no, it's not it. I said it's it. It's not it. Is it? Gates. Right. Ridge tiles thingy's done. Right, gates now. So a quick photograph of that with the ridge tiles on. That's done. Really pleased with how the roof looks on that. That's really chuffed with that. Now it's time to add a couple of bits of detail then. Tina's painted up these for me, which are
Sam Neilton, see also how good it is.
Thank you.
Michael Bottomley says you could change the front to stable doors for horses.
Yep, we could.
Do we do stable doors?
No, we've got stables. Pull the doors off the stable doors. We could do the front would need remodeling slightly to make it work as stables. What I'm going to do now as well is, just for a bit of extra interest, is I'm going to pop on these tie patras thingies either side of the window. Probably wouldn't necessarily be there, not in this exact position. I'm not an architect as far as that's concerned, so I really don't know, but I just think it's the sort of thing you would expect to see on a building like this. For me it is anyway. I would expect
Hill says does need barge boards on the gables just to break up the grey with a splash of extra colour.
Yeah.
And whitewashed interior, please.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Martin Howard says looks really good. How about a GWR station and train shed?
Yeah, need to do them, that's for sure. Right, I'm just adding those ties, patras things, whatever they're called, on the end. I can get them roughly in the same position both ends. Yeah, I'll do barge boards on the end. I'll sort those after lunch, or when I've had a cup of tea. If I put that one the right height. No, a bit low there. A bit low. Yeah, I'll do barge boards, which can go on the end. I need to make the tiles ever so slightly longer, so there's a bit more overhang on there, on the ends then for the barge boards. But there's plenty of room to stretch the tile, so we can do that easy enough. Just make them a fraction longer, so they overhang over the barge boards. These look really good where you've painted these, Teen. They look proper rusty. I like them. Look really good.
I want to see the gates.
The
gates. Yeah.
There they are.
What they look like.
Right, let's do the gates then.
Sam Hill says thank you for the barge boards, being pedantic. Now you've added the tiles, you need rods running internally, pulling them together. I wouldn't add that to the kit though.
No, I know there would be rods. Yeah, I do know there would be rods. And I thought, well, is anybody going to sit and study the building that much that they're going to go, where are the rods? Well, probably will be somebody that does it. I like the kit, but it doesn't come with tie rods, so it's not actually properly correct, is it? Architecturally correct? No, it's not. But it's a model. It's an interpretation of a building, which is sort of a made-up building and sort of one that I saw on a TV program. I can't remember which TV program it was, but it was there somewhere.
Tom, David, Black Box Alpha, Chris. Also great build.
Thank you.
In answer to Chris's question, yes, the cold only lasted 3 days for me, I think.
Yeah, it was over really quickly.
It was, wasn't it? But thank you for asking.
Right then, gates. Shall I put gates on both of them?
Yes, I've painted them both.
Yeah, I know. Cheeky bugger.
Tim says if you do the rods from brass, you can use them as a positive and negative power lines for lights.
True. I'll leave that to you guys. Otherwise, by the time we've sourced brass bloody parts, excuse my French, brass parts for the rods and all that to put in the kit, it'll take us a month of Sundays to get it all sorted. So it'd be easier just to say, there we go. If you want to light it, however you want to do it, we'll leave it as a blank canvas for you guys. Not that I'm being lazy, I'm just, most people probably won't bother. So definitely going to do the whitewashed bits, and I'll definitely do barge boards for the ends because it needs it. I'll probably cut. Go on. Sorry.
Dave says a QA pass for this build, brilliant.
Thank you.
Ian Bennett is about go and his bacon butties arrived.
Please stop. Just stop. It's not fair. Right, we're putting gates on both of them. Are we going to pose a gate open, are we, slightly? Yeah, we'll pose a gate open. Right. Okay, so gates. All we've done here is I've doubled up the post to make it thicker. Tina's really done a really good job of painting these. She's done them in a lovely rusty brown colour. It looks fantastic. Really pleased.
David Yates, last one, it'd be ready for.
No, it was coming. I'm tempted to say, I'm tempted to put it on the site as a pre-order this afternoon. Okay. Now, we'll have it ready as fast as we possibly can. I don't want to rush. It's not going to be a bandstand wait, don't worry. I don't want to rush getting the final bits sorted that I need to do on it. If I can get all the parts done this afternoon, the modifications I need done, and write the instructions, then in theory we could start shipping by Friday, couldn't we?
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Now, it's designed. What?
What does it knock onto?
It doesn't at the moment.
All right.
Well, my thought there really was because with farm build, you see, everything's a bit, as Leonard used to say, a bit Heath Robinson. It's a bit random.
Mm.
They sort of would just. I mean, it's like you look at gates, walk the dog. They're held together with bits of rope.
Mm.
They're tied. There's that bit where they try and stop the dog going through with the remains of an animal feed thing. It's just leaned up against the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no way a farmer would buy gates to fit this.
Mm-hmm.
They go, I've got a gate. It nearly fits, but not quite. I'll do that, and then I'll put a bit of board behind it, or I'll put a bit of tin in. They would never, just don't do it with new, very rarely. So my thinking behind this was to have it scruffy. So we're going to bend this one. I'm quiet now. Kate's knocked the lasers off. We'll have that one open inwards or open outwards. Open outwards because I've done it that way. I bent it the wrong way. So it's going to have to be open outwards, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll glue that on like that. I think that's going to work, isn't it? Just have to be careful handling it, that's all, when I've done it. I'm just going to hold that on for a few minutes, seconds, whatever. If you can still hear the rumbling, that's the road. Busy out there today. Right, gates are on, and we are done. It must be cup of tea time. Right, there you go. Gates. That's better. Right, there we go. Pleased with that. So we have a farm outbuilding machine tractor store, machine store. What did you say it was?
It was all sorts.
It was yeah, anything. It's a stone built one. We have brick wraps for it, which are gone somewhere. They're over there somewhere, but I don't know, they're gone now. We've got brick wraps for it. Under there. So brick wraps, and we're going to do internal wraps, painted internal wraps for the office building, whatever, storeroom building at the end, not office, but storeroom at the end. You've got gates that are included with it. They can go across just for keeping animals in, whatever, or even lock it behind your tractor or whatever. Tractor should fit in fine. A little locks for the one. I'm not sure whether the modern style would fit in. Should do. We've put patras plates on the end. Bit of extra detail on the building. Tie plates. Weathered roof tiles. Stone walling. I'll try and find a slate wrap if I can find one, but I can't promise it in a minute. We've added soffits or fascia boards to this. I'm going to add. That's not glued down very well, is it, you Wally? I'm going to add barge boards to it as well. Well, there we go. I'm quite pleased with that, and it could be anything you like it to be, really. That's it. We are done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. That's it. Back on that camera, I think. Right. Thanks for watching. That's it. That's done. It'll be KXO64. If you can see that. It's a bit dark there, isn't it? KXO64. It will be. I'll try and get it finished this afternoon. Get the bits done. Mind to give Tina a hand downstairs, perhaps later. With a few bits. If I can get the parts modified today, I will do, and get the instructions written. It may go on the site as a pre-order today, Not sure price yet. I've not even thought about what it costs, the parts in it. There's quite a lot of parts in it, but I'll sort it if I go live within 24 hours, probably. Certainly by the weekend. Get it up for the weekend. So thanks all for watching. Have a lovely, wonderful rest of the day. It's now 12 o'clock. That was a long one. That's 2 hours. Time for a cup of tea. We better go. Right.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.